Uh, Hi, Carlo. Thank you for having me with my university project on cross-cultural communication. I would like to ask you about some Italian family values and how they might differ from that of Vietnam. So the first question, um, in Italy, at what age is it expected for a young person to leave their parents' home? I have heard about the concept of mamuni, which is adults living with mom. So is that a real cultural norm or just a stereotype?
It is a real thing. So it is very common for people for quite a while. Um, this is due to again a bit of a cultural aspect. In Italy, we really value collectivity and groups and being a part of your community, and that community is also your family. There's also the economic aspect of it, in that if you're staying with if you live with your family for a while, it's a lot easier to go to university. It's you don't have to, you can probably get by without getting a side job, and go to university and get your classes. And I think it's pretty common for people to leave yeah, around 25, 20, 25. It depends on the people, it depends on where they're studying. But if you're born and raised in your hometown and you go to university in the same city, you don't have to move out. It's common for you to stay with your family.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So about the financial responsibility,
Mm.
uh, when you get your first full-time job in Italy, is there an expectation to give a portion of your salary to your parents?
No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't. Oh,
Restart. So when you get your first full-time job in Italy, is there an expectation to give a portion of your salary to your parents?
no, I don't think there's an expectation of this. Of course, if your family helped you out during your studies, there is a bit of an expectation. There is a bit more expectation rather than in the moment that you will help the family down the line. So when your parents get older, you're supposed to take care of them and you're supposed to help them in that sort of sense.
Okay. If you have a financial crisis, would you ask your family first or try to solve it yourself with a bank or a loan?
I would try and go to my family first, and then I think that would also be pretty common in Italy. Um, you go the institutional avenue when you run out of options within your close circle, your community.
Yeah, okay. So in Vietnam, parents often have a big say in their child's career or marriage partner. How does this work in Italy? Or would your parents disapprove if you chose a job or a partner that they did not like?
Um, Again, there is a bit of an expectation in at least for me, there was a bit of an expectation regarding what career I was going to choose, but uh, it really depends on the family. It really depends on the family what you're allowed to do, but it's not super strict generally. People are, um, it's okay. It's kind of okay. Point is, you have to figure it out. Like you have to find ways to make it work as a career. Um, Same thing goes for your partner. Your family will most likely be okay with whatever you choose to pick as a partner. There will be again expectations that your partner works well within the family dynamics. So that's on you.
Okay. Um, so I know food is huge in Italian culture. So how important is the family meal,
Mm.
like the Sunday lunch, for maintaining relationships? Is it mandatory or expected to attend?
Yes, I would agree. It's food is like in many cultures, food is a big part of how we socialize and how we build community, and that doesn't just apply to friendships, but applies to family as well. Um, so indeed, like Sunday lunch is usually a time that you should be home.
Okay. So can you describe the typical fear of a Italian meal?
I mean, okay. It depends. I feel like for example, for a Sunday lunch, that's usually when uh, people put more effort. So those are quite convivial. Maybe you'll have more of your extended family, like you have your grandparents, or perhaps your cousins and uncles and aunts. Um, and I mean, yeah, there is no, it's quite convivial. Everyone is generally quite happy to see each other. That being said, not every meal is perfect. There's gonna be fights. There's always gonna be one uncle that you disagree with, but it's
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So if there is a disagreement in your family, do people tend to argue loudly and directly, or do they keep quiet to keep the peace?
it depends on the family. Once again, would probably say that it can get loud. It can get loud, but that can also be a good thing, I think, because otherwise sometimes things go unsaid. People stay quiet. People don't speak their mind, but that comes out at some point in ways worse. So sometimes it's better to hash it out first. Um, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna stop talking to each other. It's You're having an argument. It can be loud, but it's an argument.
Yeah. So Vietnam is often considered a high context culture where we tend to save face. So do you find Italian communication to be more direct, expressive in general?
Mm, no, I think Italy is also considered to be a pretty high context culture, um, whereby you find ways to say things that are not necessarily direct, but you say things, but you just don't say them out loud, but you do say them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So traditionally, who managed the household chores and cooking in Italian home? The mother or both the parents?
I think things are changing, but mm, traditionally it's been the women in the family that carried the weight of doing most of the household work. Um, Luckily, that has been changing. I mean, I think that has been a common trend where like when women are more integrated in the workforce. So then, if women are working, they can take care of everything. So I think the responsibilities are more shared now, but it depends. It depends.
Yeah. Okay. So about elderly care. So when parents get old and can no longer live alone, uh, what is the Italian solution? Is it common to put them in a nursing house, or does a child usually take care of them?
Um, Usually, I would say that it is kind of expected that the child takes care of them. Of course, at some point, nursing homes become necessary. If the, the the worst, like well, at some point, I mean, they can become necessary. If an elderly person cannot take care of themselves, mm, nursing home is needed. But yeah, but there is the expectation that you take care of your parents.
Okay. So normally you would take care of your
Yeah,
elder parent.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, so in Vietnam, if my parents make a decision about my career that I hate, I might still do it just to show respect. So if you were in that situation in Italy, would you follow your parents' wishes to make them happy, or would you rebel?
Uh, um, when I cannot answer for everyone. My experience has been one that's been quite supportive of my choices, but there has been some steering, and when that kind of steering has happened, I've kind of followed their advice, but also because I was younger, I was in high school. So of course, when I told my parents that I wanted to be a photographer, they said no. They said, no, you're gonna study scientific subjects. And I reluctantly took that advice. In the end, I'm happy that I followed it.
Okay. Ah, okay. So, thank you for the interview.
You're welcome.
Yeah.